All right, joining me right now, ladies and gentlemen, Willie Robertson, New York Times best-selling author, CEO of Duck Commander, star of Duck Dynasty on A&E, and author of a great new book, The American Fisherman, How Our Nation's Anglers Founded, Fed, Financed, and Forever Shaped the USA. There it is on your TV screen, and there he is, and here he is. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Big fan. Thanks for coming in. You also have another TV show going viral.
Going viral, yeah. It's my Uncle Si. He is learning all things internet, so he doesn't have a phone or a computer like my father. And yeah, we're teaching about the internet. It's a funny family show that it's a spin-off. So yeah, it was a lot of fun making it. So it'll air along with Duck Dynasty right after it. So starting something new.
Good luck. And I want to talk about the book, of course. That's the main reason you're here. But let's talk about the election of Donald Trump as president-elect. His Trump Tower is about 15 blocks straight up Fifth Avenue here. You must have been very pleased. You campaigned with him a bit.
It made our year very interesting. A very interesting year. So yeah, I was out with him, and Donald Trump Jr. Had actually been to the house. He was there this year, actually. Came and hunted with us, and so took him out. And Phil was back in Cruz, so it made some interesting conversation at the dinner table. But yeah, we all ended up on board, and yeah, I was excited sitting around with everybody else watching. Wasn't sure if he could pull it off, but I tell you, when Wisconsin came in, I jumped out of my chair. I couldn't believe it. So
those numbers, and the numbers didn't start off too good in the early, Florida, North Carolina, and elsewhere. But then when they just started moving and moving,
it was almost like it was over.
Yeah.
And then you see it start moving, and the later it got, and I had to wake up early the next morning, so I didn't watch the moment. I felt good when I went to bed, and I woke up and
2:30 in the morning here.
2:30, yeah. I had to get up and work the next morning, so I made it as long as I could. We were still waiting on Pennsylvania, and found out it happened. Yeah, I texted their family and was excited, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, what does it mean? How did so many people get it so wrong? And what does it mean that it came out this way?
I think I mentioned that in my speech at the convention, that were they getting tired of being wrong, and so because they had been wrong about him from the start, I knew that he was speaking to people, and he was coming across in a great way, and I knew it was going to be bad. The campaign was going to get rough, and it did, and there was ups and downs, but. I mean, the reason I liked him is because he was a business guy, and I feel like in my life I've had less money, and now I've had more money.
You like more money more.
Well, you can do a lot more when
Yes,
you have some money in your pocket, and this country, the debt we're in, and we're not going to be able to help anybody, much less ourselves, if we don't get out of this debt. And so I like the guy that if you're successful in New York City, I'm assuming, I'm not from here, obviously, but I'm assuming if you're that successful in New York City, you have to learn to work with a lot of different people, or you're not going to be that successful. So he knows big numbers and all that, and that made me feel good. For our family, we were concerned about Supreme Court, so we're all thankful that we can keep that thing in balance and in check. And so yeah, and I know his family very well, and I know they're big hunters, and so for us, that was nice.
I'd like to see Donald Jr. hunting. How did he do?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So he came in. So Cruz came in, which I didn't know. My brothers, they set that up. So Cruz came in when I was out of town, and I had Trump Jr. coming in that weekend. So Cruz came in. They shot a commercial. Which somebody said he's back in Cruz. And I said, how does my father back in? He doesn't have a computer. He doesn't have a phone. He lives on a dead-end street. How does he get his message out? Right. And it's amazing. But they came in, he hunted, and then we brought in Donald Trump Jr., and he hunted, and Trump never missed. And so I got my father. Wow. I said, well, you tell me who's the better hunter, Trump or Cruz? And it was hands down.
What kind of stuff did he, were you hunting with?
We're hunting ducks, yeah.
Oh, nice.
We went out deer hunting, and then we weren't successful. And then we went out and did some duck hunting and got a few birds. And yeah, it was good for them to meet and know each other. And then as it unfolded, my father got on board with Trump. And so I didn't rub it in, but at the dinner table, I was definitely kind of cheesing on him. He knew that I'd made the right choice.
He didn't do any fishing with you, though, did he?
No fishing. No, we didn't get a chance to go. It was deep in hunting season, but maybe one day,
But you write about all that in The American Fisherman.
We do.
And these are the people that you write about in this book are the core constituents, the people I would imagine that saw Donald Trump in the same way you saw Donald Trump.
Oh yeah. When I saw the map that night, when I saw the map of America, and I was so proud that all those red areas, that their voice was heard. And so you have these blue pockets of people, and let's face it, for the last 8 years, those guys have been in charge. So when I saw that red map, there you go. And they are. They're the ones that, I mean, they're the ones that do go fishing. So, the book goes through, it's historical, but, you know, history can be boring, but we found some great stories about leaders and about presidents, about fish and fishing in the industry that are just blew us away. You know, like George Washington was a commercial fisherman.
That's amazing.
And that was his most successful business. And I was able to be, you know, at Mount Vernon. My friend actually rented the house right beside it. So I stood there, looked at the Potomac River, and knew what, you know, what he was going through, what he was seeing. And so, yeah, from there all the way through history, it's just incredible about how fishing has impacted.
And even the fishing industry has come under attack and under regulation, all kinds of regulation, which have made it prohibitive for so many people who have done this for a living and, you know, family passed down, family tradition, family business, because of stuff that Obama and before him, I guess, other presidents have signed. The EPA has made decrees, and hopefully Donald Trump will lessen that.
Hopefully so. Well, you got to end some of these regulations, because most people don't know either that my father, while he was trying to get this duck call business going, he was a commercial fisherman. So we made our living off of the river.
You know exactly what you're writing
and
about.
And then we're the conservatives who are putting the money in. That's who's paying for this stuff. And so fishermen, hunters, outdoorsmen, we spend millions and millions of dollars to protect these waterways. And we don't need the government to tell us, you know, how to rate. Believe me, the people out there that know, they get their...
They rely on it. They're not going to screw it up. It's their living, their home.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what we do. So.
The American fishermen, folks, all the great stories. And as Willie just related, so many people have used fishing so many people have relied on fishing for so many different avenues of release and economics. George Washington, for one, and many others. So pick it up.
All righty. Now, for that entire interview, make sure you watch the Steve Malzberg Show tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. All right, folks, the panel with Wayne Allen Root and Ellis Henneken is next. Don't go away.